Good morning, folks. This is Allison. I'm another day of doing sort of field visits here in the Salt Lake City area. I don't know if you can see the clouds behind me. It looks like there's a lot of geoengineering going on here. Let me see. I'll just go up in the sky. You can see sort of the cross pieces. I was driving in from Pleasant Valley today and seeing a lot of stuff in the sky. I'm here. I've got my sage going. Jason, thank you very much for giving me a nice lighter, so that would work out. I'm here at the corporate offices of Instructure, and this is off of 215, the base of the mountains. You can kind of see the mountains again around here. A lot of spring stuff in the sky. You can see the plane off in the distance, maybe doing some of that. So I'm here at Instructure. Let me make sure my car is locked up. And the thing about Instructure that is important to know. Just a second, I don't want to get hit by the FedEx truck. So they're a learning management system company. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the idea of a learning management system, increasingly as educational options are put online, resources and communication are carried out through like online learning, this platform. And there's a number, I think Blackboard was an early one. Instructure was founded in 2008 by two graduates of Brigham Young University. And then I believe in 2010, the Utah education system replaced Blackboard that they had been using as their learning management system for state education processes. They switched over to Instructure. And Instructure, one of their flagship products is called Canvas. And so Canvas, you would put, if a professor or, it's down into K-12, a teacher had resources, readings, tests, quizzes, even online communication, it all gets logged in through Canvas. And the thing about Canvas is there's a lot of metadata collected. Here, I'm going to flip around and just show you the area that I'm in. So again, it's one of these corporate campuses. You can see Instructure right there with, I need to probably look up master control, what master control is, that's interesting. So Canvas collects metadata, so they know there's a unique identifier that goes along with it. And I read an article in UBC, which is the student paper for the University of British Columbia, and it was done a couple years ago. And someone who was in their graduate journalism program was looking into Instructure and Canvas specifically, and what data was being collected on students in Canvas. And he submitted an open records request to get that data. And that was kind of hard to get but the university finally gave it to him. And he said when he got it, there were about 400 million individual data points on him in the system. And I don't think he'd been using it very long because he was only a master's student. So that's like a 2-year program. So there were 400 million data points already on him as he used this system. And so right now, this system is being used in K-12 schools. It's being used in MOOCs, which are massively open online courses. And I think they're up to, in 2013, there were 9 million users of the Canvas platform, which is a lot. And that was 2013. So in 7 years, you can imagine how many more users there are. And so there's a question of this data mining and the data analytics that are going on with these online learning systems, and who is accessing data, how is it being used, are students, essentially this article from the student at University of British Columbia was saying they even had data down to how this person used their keyboard. They would know when they would open a reading, how long they spent on the reading. But of course it could be gamed because you could just leave the browser open for hours and it would look like you read for hours, or you could download a PDF and it might look like you didn't use it at all. So it's inaccurate, even the data that is being collected. So again, this is all very concerning. There was an individual who came to my talk on Friday who was an area university professor who said that this person recommended they not use, they don't use Canvas with their students. They recommend the students do not communicate with them through Canvas, and they were trying to stay out of it altogether. But this was also at Brigham Young, which is, you can see that there would be a vested interest in them using this program since the graduates are BYU graduates. And then I also met someone this weekend who is working on digital identity systems with Evernym for BYU. So you can see how it's all sort of starting to interconnect, and Instructure has actually bought several related companies tied to competency-based education, mastery-based education. The Canvas program is integrated with something called Credly, so that's digital badging systems, Mastery Connect, and Portfolium, which are ways of aggregating data information as online portfolios of performance standards and data analytics tied to badging. And so we can see how it's all, Portfolium is based in San Diego, how these systems of data are connecting in with the human capital investment schema. So, this is Instructure. Again, it's just like in, one of these suburban centers. This is like Old Mill Corporate Center. It's just these corporate office parks. It could just be, most anywhere affluent suburb. But it's here in Utah. And I think that's significant. Again, we're in this valley with a huge number of data centers. Someone's told me recently after I was giving a talk that now there are data centers that are much larger even than the one at Bluffdale, the NSA data center, and that they had heard that the intelligence community was actually outsourcing stuff to Google. And so there's a giant Google data center here, and there's a giant Facebook data center here. So that's about it. That's what I've got for Instructure. I would encourage people to look it up. Again, it's really, I have to say, it's really weird. I'm just gonna look at the skies here. There's a lot going on with the skies that are, these stripy skies, and I don't know if this is geoengineering stuff going on, but I'm going to move on. I'm going to be going up to Powder Mountain. And again, many of the investors in ed tech are the same people who are investing, putting their venture capital into these online learning systems. So it's good to understand badging, understand data analytics, understand data surveillance, metadata, microdata. It's all about lifelong learning, but it's the we can track it kind of lifelong learning.